Yay.
Welcome to this week's edition of the Sunday PowHER Chat. We are only have some internet capabilities because the companies tend to slice our our connectivity in half at night, our bandwidth. But we have exponential divine bandwidth that we're bringing to you
Absolutely.
today. So it doesn't matter what what we get through the internets.
Yeah.
That's what we
The,
call
the
them.
interwebs or whatever
The
that's all about, right?
interweb solutionisms.
Oh, but we're
So today,
here.
so yes, we're here today. We wanted to actually come and talk to you about something that's probably on your mind too. The last 2 years have been just a whirlwind for so many people, and um, with all the turmoil and grief and change, people's habits have gotten askew. And even if they had, a good lifestyle that kept them, at feeling good um, and 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 with a really acute mindset and a good open heart space,
Mm.
there when we have that many cogs thrown in our wheel, it can be jolting and it can get us just a little bit off step, or it could throw us for an entire loop and have us living a lifestyle that is completely out of alignment with the things that we say we want for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to talk today about how we can start to bring those things back into alignment, so we can start to feel more like ourselves more often, and just feel better in our bodies. Because we have to be in these beautiful, wonderful vehicles for our entire lives. What a blessing! And also, it can feel like a curse if you haven't had done the
Mm.
upkeep on
True.
maintenance.
Right.
Um, and so some of the ways that we can start to like just bring ourselves back into balance, you know, are by remembering, what makes us happy, right? And what makes us feel good. Because
Sure.
everything that we're doing here on in life, we do with an intention to have some kind of experience, some
Mm-hmm.
kind of emotional experience, right? Emotions are like the currency of of our existence. We in this form anyway.
Right.
We want to feel things. We're feeling beings, and so we don't always look at it that way. But if you peel back the layers, you can really begin to see what your true motivations are for everything that we do.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's really where we want to bring our attention tonight. Peeling back the layers a bit and just identifying what our truest motivations are, what really makes us happy, and then creating a life flow that serves that intention.
Right.
You know?
Because we were also leading into the whole idea of this really falls into self-care. And been thinking a lot about it for the past week, as you and I had spoken in. So it's I hear a lot of what we're saying. The buzzword is self care. That's the thing. The buzzword is self care. But just to not you say that this is a buzzword, I just want to say that if you're watching this and you're listening, anytime that you give yourself that space, right? Anytime that you give yourself the learning of your reactions, as you were getting into it, Takia, it was just something that just dawned on me that if we don't if we don't get in touch with what we're feeling or what we're doing, right, then we actually are not giving our own self-care. Because that's like the key to all of the things we do is understanding what it is that's happening with us, right? What we're processing. But didn't mean to derail you, but I just went off on a thought process that I thought I want to come back to that eventually about it being a piece of self-care.
I'm on all my rails, baby. I don't know what you mean. I'm riding fast and steady
Well,
on my
that's
rails.
good. I didn't think you were off the rails. I was for a moment. I just wanted to say it
Oh
just
my God, you're
triggered
fine.
something in me that sometimes people think that self-care means what some kind of thing about buying stuff or so, well, I don't even know what it means for some people, but it goes deeper. Like your own self-care is
Yeah.
like getting to know yourself.
Yeah, so I hear what you're saying. You know, we have different definitions of self-care,
Mhm.
and a lot of times we can simplify self-care down to just, you know, our hygiene and, or getting our nails done, or, going shopping, and not that any of those things are any less, fulfilling to certain people. That might there might be layers within someone where when they were a kid they couldn't go shopping, and so to go shopping is very fulfilling because they feel independence, right? So I don't judge anything that you deem good for yourself as self-care. It is what it is. However, what we are saying is that it's not limited to the doing of things outside. It's also encompasses the kind of facilitation of this inner process of really learning who you are, what you like, and
Mhm.
what serves your best interest, depending on what you're desiring to create in the world. And so, sometimes, we have to actually create intentional space for ourselves to do this kind of quiet reflection so that we can gain some clarity. Because if we don't do that, then so often will our lives be driven by the obligations that we put on ourselves as a reaction to others' expectations, or the um, trying to fulfill some kind of a void or a need that isn't being filled in some area of our lives. And so we want to be really intentional, about how we're spending our currency, our time, our energy, um, our attention. These are valuable, valuable resources. And these are ultimately the building blocks of our daily lives, right? It's wherever we give our attention, we give our energy,
Mhm.
um, and and that becomes our life. The things that we focus on the most tend to be what we engage in the most in our lives, and before you know it, it's the week is gone.
Yeah. Right.
You know?
Right.
S-
Good.
So I was just gonna say, so I always, after we go on like tangents like that, that are more kind of, uh,
Mhm.
less tangible, I would like to bring it back to some practicality,
Absolutely.
and just say, okay, so what is it that we can actually do?
Mhm.
And so, I truly believe that self love is a broader and more nuanced um, practice
Yes.
than we tend to um, identify it as. So, the three pillars of self love are self knowing, self care, and self trust, right? And so, I operate with the understanding that all love is self love, and all
Mhm.
trust is self trust, and all care is self care. And so the best thing that we can do to be our best selves and to be in relationship in the best way that we can is also to take care of ourselves to our fullest capacity, and to know ourselves to our fullest capacity, and to prove ourselves loved by ourselves to our fullest
Mhm.
capacity. And so, how are we doing those things? And are they resulting in what you intended to create, which is more happiness, more joy, more feelings of fulfillment? And if they're
Mhm.
not, then perhaps you want to investigate, what it is that you how you're actually spending your time. And if sometimes it's not even the decisions or the choices that we're making of the things to be doing,
Mhm.
but it's our lack of presence while we're doing them that
Mhm.
results in a lack of fulfillment. Because you can go to Disney World, but if you're on your phone the whole time, you might as well have been sitting on your couch,
Right.
you
Right.
know?
That whole business of being in the moment that you're in,
Right.
and we're so such a harried and hurried society that we often find ourselves thinking about so many things at the same time as if we're really doing service to ourselves or those things,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm. And we really withhold from ourselves the
Mm,
magnitude of the bliss of this life when we do that, the richness that is in the relating in the moment, you
hmm.
know, and we deny others the experience of our fullest expression, with our lack of presence. So bringing it back though, we could go on we could on a tangent there for many moons, but so the physical things, the kind of more practical lines of thought that we could pursue would be, let's say you you identify that you have been going back to our initial kind of emphasis, which was on wellness, which is something that most people can identify with, and most people can, when it's a great starting point for kind of regaining alignment, is to really have a grasp on the fundamentals of your lifestyle and have those fundamentals be working in a way that move you into more and more health, right? And more congruence, with your mind and your heart together. So just starting with, for example, you know, um, routines. Like, what are the routines that you had before you have the routines that you have now, which may be a hodgepodge of obligations versus an actual structured, intentional set of things that you follow, even following them loosely, but following,
Mm,
because it's where your heart's leading you each day, right? And those, like, so for example, when you get up in the morning, are you taking a moment to look at the sunrise? Are you taking some deep breaths to kind of reset yourself and prepare yourself to engage with people? Because the things that we do in the morning really sets the tone for how we present during the day, and how we feel throughout the day. And so, and especially in this climate, we really have to prepare ourselves. I've been really thinking about this, even as it relates to myself, about really being just hyper vigilant about putting a protective light over myself as I I go out into the world, because people have very frenetic energy right now. Their thoughts and their emotions are heightened, and and there is not necessarily an intentional hygienic, awareness of how much that your thoughts and your vibratory frequency affects people around you. I've had to go, I've gone into spaces where people were just being completely undisciplined with their own frequency. They were just all over the place. Have you ever seen or heard of people, saying, be responsible for the energy you bring here? So
right.
everywhere I've ever lived, I mean, I have that either on the door, or people know, just be, it's a gesture of kindness and compassion and courtesy, just to be mindful of your own energy when you enter into a space. Sometimes there's an ignorance about the impact, but once there's really no excuse for not checking in with yourself, and kind of, and if you're not up to being around people, and you can't, get yourself into a centered state, or you need assistance, that's a great way for you to then to reach out and ask for help, when you're aware of your lack of your ability to get back into the center of you, to come off the ledge. It's not a good or bad thing wherever you are, but it's just about what we're looking to create, right? It's about intention. So if we're looking to go out and have a good time, or go into a space and have the primary reason for the function happening, be the focus, and not and have everyone there enjoy it to the highest ability there, then we have to bring our best,
Mm,
and so. it's courtesy. And so I totally get, I'm also a fan of, of being who you are, and like everyone knows me, like I'm me all the time. And and that wasn't always true. So I remember a time when, you know when fear had a grip on my decision making. I remember that, and I can't. I mean, and I've always kind of had a kind of a chill kind of set point, but I could get fired up to when certain things fire me up. Especially when I'm playing sports. Like my level of intensity is just beyond the beyond, and when I love hard. So I only really have, it's either all the way or it's nothing. I don't really, I don't do the gray area in either one of those things. Like when I'm fully immersed in my body doing something, I'm all in. And, and so that, especially, if you know that about yourself and you're bringing all of you, then it's even more important that you be aware of your energy. Because I tell you what, you know, if you're finding that you're having people in your life irritated by you or irritated with you or around you a lot, or if you're finding yourself in circumstances where there are a lot of accidents, or if you're finding yourself, um, you know, kind of in situations where there are the kind of outcomes that are undesirable happening for you or around you, and you can kind of see that that not everyone around you isn't like prospering and feeling joyous and reaching for their highest potential, right there. And people are having these setbacks, and people, so let's check in, because we call with our frequency, right? That really determines our experience of the world. And so, and we can absolutely affect each other in that way. Sometimes, I know I have a different definition of sensitive. So when I say sensitive, um, I'm just thinking someone else misinterpreted my definition of sensitive when I shared it with them. But let me stay on point here. So when I'm very sensitive, so when I say that, that means that I'm very connected on high. And so when I get open, I get all the way open. Like I open, my whole soul is just, I'm just naked. And so when I do that, I mean, there's this level of sensitivity to where like I can almost feel like I can hear what people are thinking, and it's not it's not like I'm hearing voices, but there's in the height of my intuition that is just otherness. And so, and then everyone has this capacity. It's not like, that I have this special thing. It's just that I'm aware that I have this capacity, and I'm able to go there. And so my sensitivity to being connected, when I'm all the way open, I mean, man, it's like, the butterfly wings on the ocean and causing a tsunami.
Yeah.
That's how I feel in my body. So I do that in safe spaces. I do that in my own sanctuary at home. Um, I'll do that, in coaching sessions. I'll make a distinction between my energy and the energy of my clients. Um, because there's a certain degree of openness that I have to have in order to kind of intuitively move with people.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the truth of all of our lives and all the time, because really intuition and miracles should be the way we live. It shouldn't be something special that happens once in a while. And
Yeah.
so we're all sensitive. And
Right.
so being sensitive, it's important that we be intentional about our own energy field, one, distinguishing it between us and those that we're interacting with, being able to tell when, if you're an empath, that sometimes you can feel sadness and it's not even about you.
Mm-hmm.
It's you feeling the heaviness of the world. And so, yeah, as don't let friends be don't let friends, or what's that saying? Don't let friends, drive drunk with their energy or something. I don't know.
Oh, that's good. I don't think I've heard that before. That's a good
Something.
one.
No, I was making it up. I was trying to cross the two things. Yeah, just remind your friends, about the importance of energetic hygiene and centering, and so you're protecting yourself, and also just being courteous to those around you. You know,
Right. Right. And you really just need to take responsibility for your energy,
energy.
and that's the whole thing. And if you don't even understand what that is, that's a big if you're gonna start anywhere in all of this, understand that. I think intuition and gut, some people, it's a challenge to actually follow your intuition and your gut. That's a process too if you're not in that space. But yeah, your energy is
Well, there's a willingness that's necessary for
yeah,
that, and that requires faith and trust, right? And that's what. So look at that full circle.
right?
So, yes, look at that. So
Because
so yeah, so bringing it back, to self-love, self-trust, self-caring, self-knowing, all of these things, these pillars are the way that we work on enhancing our self-love. These are the ways that we do it. And so um, you know, we've been actually talking, and we were saying that we really wanted to do something to help those of us who have become kind of off balance and or off our center, and finding our habits not quite in alignment with our intentions of creating a healthy lifestyle, and one that serves our purpose. And so we're going to soon be having an event, yep, coming up soon in February. So we're going to offer a 5-day event that is really geared toward helping people align and get back into um, the flow of their intentions, and just activate a healthy lifestyle again. I think sometimes we underestimate the power of the small gestures that we can make that kind of create massive impact. A single domino falling, it can create a beautiful masterpiece,
right,
right? It affects 1,000 others. And so it's the same thing. So if we just pick, very, and so it's the placement of those dominoes, right? It's not the size of it. It's not it's the width of it. It's not how many dots it has on it, but it's the strategic placement of the domino that gives its leverage. And so I've designed a 5-day jumpstart for your lifestyle and our lifestyle, that is going to has strategically placed dominoes that will help to create momentum in your life.
hmm,
And so if that sounds like something, if you're in a place where you've been wanting to begin but weren't sure where, and you just need a little help to get a little ignition to get you off the ground, to get you out of the muck or the mire, to just get you pointed in the direction and create some inertia in the direction of goodness and wholeness, and that sensing of your wholeness, and just having habits that make you feel good about how you're living, and begin to nourish yourself again, with good food and movement and all the things that we know serve us when we're doing them on a regular basis. Let us know if you're interested. It's our 5-day move into momentum, jumpstart your lifestyle 5-day event.
wow,
And we'll give you the date soon. It's going to be starting in February. I believe we said the 14th. Is that right?
that's what we said.
Yeah, February 14th is the start date. And we'll give you more details once you have given us your uh,
Right,
signal that you would like to be a part of what we're doing. I momentum is something that is underrated. Also, it changes lives. Momentum creates worlds, right? It Momentum is what we. It's where we actually can start to move things bigger than ourselves,
Hmm.
right? That's what
Right.
momentum is. It gives us leverage. And so, we let us help you. Let this 5 day be the fulcrum, and
Yeah.
and we can together help create a wave of momentum in your life, with strategically placed dominoes. So these are lifestyle activators that are going to help you move you into momentum, so that and you'll be on a different vibe by day 5. That's what we
Ooh.
right?
Ooh. I like that.
Yeah. So
Write that down.
drop us a DM or shoot us a comment. Yes, yes. Just put a number 5 in the comments. 5, and we'll reach out and we'll give you the deets. Okay.
Absolutely.
February 14th is the start date, and we're looking forward to helping people really ignite their lives again, and find flow and ease and peace and jubilation and acceleration of their happiness and activation of their lifestyle. We love a motivated and life of movement, right? Movement is life. We say
Movement is life.
movement is life, right? When things are stagnant, they start to decay,
Absolutely.
die, wither.
Yeah. Well, that's not us.
That is not us. So
No.
we are moving our breath, we are moving our bodies, we are moving our minds, we are moving our spirits, and letting our lives be moved by it all.
And I'll throw on the topper, which is, and we're moving the world, whether or not we want to acknowledge that, but we are. If we're moving anything outside of ourselves, we're moving the world. So piece by piece, everybody in momentum in a
Yeah.
good way, right?
Well, that's the whole point, right? So, when we make changes in our lives, and anyway, when I make changes in my life, I know that
Mhm.
ultimately the goal is to have my purpose be fulfilled, which is going to ultimately serve the world at the greatest, the height that possible for the time that I'm on the planet, you know?
Absolutely, and
Um,
beyond. I mean, it's nice to be there while we're here. We do our work, whatever that is, and then whether we see the result of it or not, we just know that it's been out there. We just know that we've done our purpose work, that
mhm,
it's out there and it's going on long after we're here to see it.
that's right.
So that's a
We'll
great
never
goal.
know how far the ripples travel, right?
Nope. I'm happy to know they're under there somewhere, but well, this was good. So like she said right there, if go ahead and drop us a DM personally or put a 5 or yes below. Go ahead and we'll come back and we'll check in with you. But until then, Takiyah, I'm going to let you totally close this out. But I just want to remind everybody that you're amazingly made, and there's no
Yes,
one
you
else,
are
no
amazingly
one in the
made.
world designed to be you except you. So every time you wonder what you should be doing or if it's right or wrong, guess what? You design it. So have fun with it, be amazing, and over to you.
Yes. Oh, it's never too late to begin. The time is now. The only time is now, and now,
Mm,
and now, and now. There is only now. So let us begin together. I'm looking forward to seeing you soon. You are not merely just enough, but you are necessary to the unfoldment of the cosmos. You are an original idea, and we love you. Talk with you soon. Peace. Boop,
next
boop,
Sunday.
boop, boop. 7 p.m. next Sunday. We'll see you
See
then.
you